Okay, what did you do growing up as your job?
Well, I my parents ran a body shop, and it was on the same property that our home was on. So pretty much any spare time that I had was actually in the body shop.
Okay. So how'd that work with managing school and job?
Well, like I say, spare time was in the body shop. So when you'd get home from school or on the weekends, depending on how busy the shop was, you'd have to work on cars, or in the evening, instead of coming home from school and watching TV or cartoons or doing homework, you'd work in the shop until dinner time, 7 or 8 o'clock, and then you'd do homework after. So it was a juggling act.
How was it working with family?
Well, for anybody that has worked with family, it can be very intense. Would probably be the right word to use, because it's not just a job. You're not just taking orders. It's your parents. So it was interesting, but until I got old enough to decide I wanted to venture out and do something else, you just found a way to work with it because that's what the card was handed to you.
Where did you decide to go after that?
Well, that was kind of a spare of the moment thing too, because I needed a job, and I went down to a cultured marble factory in Montello, and that's where I've been for the last 19 plus years.
What do you do there?
Well, there's not really anything I haven't done there. Yeah, everything that has to do with making a sink. So from setting up the rough dimensions on a raw mold, to spraying the gel coat, which is the gloss finish, to pouring the matrix into the back of the mold to make the product, to demolding, to finishing, to polishing, to delivering, to installing. So everything.
How do you like it there?
Well, I've been there for almost 20 years. And one would say I'm in a rut. Some would say that I like it if I've been there that long. I like it because, well, I shouldn't say. What I like about it is I'm making something rather than, some jobs you're drilling a hole in a piece of metal and you don't even know what that piece of metal goes to. Other jobs you have to deal with the public, and a cashier's position, or telemarketing, or I like to do things with my hands. So to be able to make something from nothing is gratifying.
Since you started the company, what leaps and bounds has it made with the economy in new products or downtime?
Well, yeah, the economy did affect the marble industry somewhat. It didn't affect us too much. We had some larger projects started that didn't fold up. A lot of the construction industry got hit pretty hard. If people weren't there to back it financially, the projects were dropped. But we were fortunate enough to not have to feel that effect too much, and our downtime is different than other downtimes. If anybody pays a real close attention to construction, well, this is the time of year when people are finishing projects, so that means we're really busy, because in the wintertime, let me rewind. When you're building something, the summer is when you start the project. So you get it closed in and sealed up for winter to be able to finish the inside. So then springtime is usually when cabinets go in, flooring goes down, countertops go in. So springtime is usually a very busy time for us. So that economic gap, if you would, kind of falls a little bit different for the marble manufacturing end of it. I don't know if that answered your question.
If you could work anywhere in the plant and just stay there, what would that be?
Um, that is a tough one. I ask myself that one multiple times a day sometimes. Um, I like to set the product. I like to take the blueprints, if you will, and set up the sinks. Especially if they're special item sinks rather than just your standard little rectangular sink with a bowl in the middle. I like to do that, but that's not a job that can be done all day long. That's an afternoon job because of the way the product is made. You don't set all day. I like to finish sinks, but a lot of times finishing is a really hectic time because you're trying to get a truck out on time. So there's really not a one spot that I guess I would say that I would like to stay in. There's multiple spots that I like to be, and if I could, I would bounce around into those spots. When you get bored with one, go do the other. But that's not how the production has to go. So
If you would stay out any place in the shop, where would that be?
say again.
If you could not work at any one spot ever again,
Oh, that would be the spraying.
and why?
I did it for quite a long time. It's a stressful spot because what you're doing depicts the product. If you don't get that first coat down right, then you have a bad product. If you aren't spraying quick enough, then everybody that's waiting to pour is waiting on you. If you don't have the gun set up right so the product is curing properly, then everybody's waiting on you. It's kind of stressful, and it's a fatigue thing too because you're holding the spray gun all day and fighting with a hose, and it's just one of those spots that you get tired of. You don't care to do that one, or I don't anymore.
Thank you.